Hello and welcome to After the Whistle Finals Recap Special. This is just going to be a half-hour show. I'm your host, Brian Dorrington, here with marvelous Mukala Kabungo.
I need some headroom.
Look
at my head's cut off.
Yeah,
Jeez Louise.
Okay, and here we are with Steve the intern.
I lost my nickname.
You did. I didn't.
I'm not special anymore.
You only get the nicknames on the Friday shows.
All right.
Here comes Pedro to fix this. So we're just going to talk a little bit about the Stanley Cup Finals wrap-up and the NBA Finals wrap-up as well. We had one sweep and one gentleman's sweep. Which one do we want to talk about first?
We talk about the gentleman's sweep.
We can talk about the gentleman's sweep first, and that is Alexander Ovechkin winning his first Stanley Cup Finals. And Mukala, you say he's doing some crazy things out in Vegas?
No, well, I think this is back in DC, but in Vegas, okay. he was definitely going around the casino with the what they call it, the Lord Trophy.
Yes.
Yeah, he was going around the casino with it.
Lord Stanley.
And then when they got back to DC, he was just going wild. He slept with it. He had it in the bed. They showed the video of that. He was doing the keg stand in the Stanley Cup. He was swimming in one of those public fountains, those big public fountains.
Yes.
Yeah, he was in there swimming. So this is just a guy he's finally relieved that he got this. It took him 13 years to get it. Sidney Crosby's been the guy that's just been in his way this whole time. And one of my friends said once he got past Sidney Crosby, that's when he knew they were going to win it. So this run for them was a great one. And you saw that we were talking about how hungry they were for the whole series after they lose the first game, and you could just see it the next few games. They were just aggressive. And, game 5, they were down, and then they made the big plays to win the series. So kudos to them.
I mean, when the final buzzer went off, all I see is Ovechkin just jump out of the out of the bench, and he's just so happy. Tears coming down his face and everything. And I'm sitting there. I'm like, good for a Golden Knights for putting up a good fight and everything. But I was so happy to see him finally win that. Finally win the Stanley Cup, go celebrate, relax, and everything. And I don't know what's gonna happen with him in the next few years, but I mean, we'll never know.
Hey, they brought the first title in the DC area, and
yeah.
Lord knows how many years. And
I think it was the first one.
Maybe so.
The first one for the Washington Capitals.
The Washington Capitals, the Redskins.
The
team from that football team.
You mean out of all the 4 major sports that brought championship home?
Yeah,
this was the first ever for the Washington Capitals. Would have been the first ever for the Vegas Knights, too. Of course, a lot of people rooting for the Vegas Knights because it was the first expansion team to ever make a finals. Mm-hmm. Kind of a Cinderella-type story, but
didn't come true, but they have nothing to be ashamed of. Oh, no.
They had a great season. Nobody predicted them to get this far.
Yeah.
I thought it would go further than 5 games. But it just seemed like this was Ovechkin's year, and it seems like the Capitals are so deep, so well-versed, great goaltending. They can score. They've got defense. They're the real deal. They got a great coach as well. It's a franchise who is going to be tough for anybody to compete with in the East.
Definitely. And for Vegas, this is something they could build on because I believe they have a lot of young players.
Oh, they do.
Yeah.
So experience for them, and once you get there, you know what it takes to win it, so this will just make them better equipped to make a run next year.
And another thing, Ovechkin, when he scored the goal, getting the win is one thing, but knowing that when after the game you won the Stanley Cup, how do you feel scoring that goal too? That helped you guys win that game. What goes through your mind then? I just helped us win my first Stanley Cup, our team's first Stanley Cup. If anything, so. And
if you could say he was the most valuable player in the league this entire season. Mm-hmm. He led the league in goals during the regular season and in the postseason. And his hands down I think would be the MVP of the league because of what he did, the totality of what he did this season.
Yeah, he definitely had a great season, and I think all the other teams are hoping that they play Vegas in the finals and that they win in Vegas because everybody said it'd be great to win in home ice. Hell no. Winning in Vegas is great because if you didn't hear, the team actually extended all of the players' hotel stays for 4 extra days and gave them a $2,500 a day comp. and all they said was just don't do anything we wouldn't do.
Yeah, just don't
And
get,
I'm
don't
sure
get
they did do
arrested.
something. Yeah, don't get arrested was pretty much it.
That's
So
big.
I think everybody wants to win a championship in Vegas because it's probably the funnest place in the world to celebrate.
Yeah, you
a
probably.
championship.
I mean, ask Ovechkin. He'll tell you.
Yeah, he was having
yeah.
the ball.
Oh, yeah.
If I was him, I would, and I probably would have stayed there for another week to celebrate. If you give me extra money to stay there, I think. But yeah, it would definitely. You can't have me out in Vegas for the championship. I don't. You probably guys probably never hear from me again.
Well, great win for the Capitals. Great season for the Golden Knights. Now let's talk to another team with golden in it, and that's the Golden State Warriors.
The gold.
That was a huge upset.
And the Cleveland Cavaliers. Huge upset.
Before we
It's an
start.
upset series. Like I
Before-
expected the Cavs.
Oh, wait.
Before we start,
Mukala's got something.
I got something
This
here.
is news
I got
to
something
us.
here. I got Finals MVP sneakers. Kevin Durant,
Ooh.
Finals MVP. So we're gonna leave this right here for the people. Even though I wanted Curry to win the Finals MVP,
Okay, I don't think he deserved
Those
that.
Kevin Durant shoes?
those are Kevin
Yeah.
Durant sneakers.
Huh.
So-
He plays basketball in those?
Yeah, these
It doesn't
sneakers
look like they
are
have a lot of support.
legitimately made for tall people. They are legitimately made for tall people.
Are they yours?
Yes, those are mine.
Well, yeah,
These
that's
are.
all.
I'm not. I realized that when I bought them, I was like, these aren't for me. But they were so cheap. The price was so good. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna buy them anyways.
Okay, well, good job, Kevin Durant, and congratulations to his sneakers for making his first after the whistle
After the
appearance.
whistle appearance,
Very good for him.
everybody
We'll
get
always remember
Nikes. Everybody wear Nikes.
that. All right, so what do we think about this series? Was anybody thinking a sweep?
No, that's why I said it was a huge upset. I expected the Cavs would at least win one.
So the sweep was the upset.
Yeah, the sweep was an upset. That's what I'll say. The sweep was an upset. I expected one win. No one can say the first game Cavs should have lost. They should have won that game, but no, we all know what happened there.
Which is why I said after the first game the series was over.
Yeah.
That's why I said after the first game the series
But going
was
into
over.
the series, you did not expect to sweep. You cannot say that.
I said
I
it
think
wouldn't
I
go
said
no more
5
than
games.
5 or 6 games.
Yeah, but
said
that's
5
not a
games.
I
You're
agree.
right. I didn't think it
Yeah.
was going to be a
I
sweep.
didn't
You
predict
think-
the sweep.
With the way Cleveland has been playing postseason on their home court, I think most people expected them to pick up a game,
Yeah.
Yeah.
but they didn't pick up a game.
Which all goes right back to game 1. After game 1, it was they meant to that game mentally caught them out. They were done.
Shattered.
They were done after the game because they
LeBron-
had the perfect opportunity to steal the game, and who knows what would have happened after that because they could have taken momentum and get a few. All you need is one road win, but that game really took a lot out of them because I don't think they could have played a more perfect game than game 1, and they still lost. And if you look at this whole series, take away the 4th game, the Cavs were in it. Were in all these games. The first 3 games, they were in it, and they just, I think they realized we've played our best, and we're down double. We're still losing. So
Yeah, right. And we can stop one of their MVPs, but the other MVP is just going to take over. If Durant was having a bad game, Curry stepped up. If Curry was having a bad game, Durant stepped up.
Well, Durant and Curry both had great games the other day. Like
Yeah.
game 4.
No, they did,
And
yeah.
Curry scored 37. There we go. And 7 threes. Like
yeah, Durant had a triple double too.
Game 4 was just awful. Game 4 was a disgrace. It did.
Yeah,
Cleveland seemed like they didn't want to be there. They didn't leave it all out on the court. It seemed like to me, they didn't. Seemed like to me LeBron wasn't driving to the net like he normally does. He was waiting for things to happen. It wasn't the LeBron James we've seen all series long. And then he comes out with a little soft cast on his hand. You know what? Oh, I'm not going to talk about it. It's just going to be there. Do you think this is just LeBron making excuses
Yes.
again?
No, this is just LeBron trying to I like LeBron as a player, but sometimes some of the things he does some of the stuff he does is just like really. So I think this was just LeBron trying to get a little more of the spotlight or taking a little shine away from the Warriors championship because if you punched the wall and had your hand broken after game one? Why wasn't the cast on your hand the other 3 games?
Or he wouldn't have been
Other
able
3
to.
post-conference,
Yeah.
the conference
Well,
series.
apparently it was on all of the time except for when he was practicing it on the court.
Yeah,
Apparently, this is what he said.
Which-
But
You can't, man. When you're on the court, you're healthy. That's usually how it goes in sports. I mean, 2 years ago when Steph Curry had that knee injury, he was not 100% in the finals, but nobody ever heard him say anything about his knee. It was just if you watched that series, you could just tell he wasn't 100% because he was getting his shot blocked. He was getting his 3-point shot block, and it's rare that anybody, no matter their size, blocks his shot. So you could tell, but nobody used that he never went on the podium. And
that's just how it is. You play 80 some odd games, and then you're in the finals now, and
nobody's
beat
healthy.
up a little bit.
Yeah, nobody's healthy.
And these are just the reasons why I hate LeBron James. Like, he's not a bad guy. I'll never say that he's a bad guy. He's a good guy by all accounts. A good family man. He's never been in trouble. Smart. But he just does these things like when he takes dives and when he's screaming at his players and just those are the reasons I don't want him to come to the Celtics. Those are the reasons I want to beat him.
Yeah, he's a little dramatic. Yeah, we could say it.
Too much of a
LeBron's a
drama
little,
queen.
I'm gonna throw
little
some shade
dramatic.
right now. The way Cleveland played in this game, they played like the old 76ers before they were good. Like, and they were like, they were just.
Yeah, they packed it in. They already
process.
had booked their vacations. They were ready. They were ready to go. That whole team was. They were ready to go.
Well, Kevin Love's saying that he wants to finish his career on the Cavs, but he wants to finish it with LeBron too.
I mean, you
I
gotta
don't
pick
think
one.
that's likely.
You gotta pick one.
I don't think.
no.
I don't think either are going to happen.
Yeah.
You think LeBron's going to bring Kevin Love with him when he goes to?
I
wherever
don't
he
think
goes?
so. Another thing where I'm highly disappointed because Kevin Love, he's been reduced to a standstill shooter. Just stay over there at the 3-point
Shoot
line,
some
in the
three-pointers,
corner,
yeah.
on the wing, and shoot threes. The guy can score down low. This is the disappointing thing. That now on this team, they didn't know how to properly use him. And this is, I wish he'd go to a team that could use him and use his strengths because he's good enough in the low post and he's a great rebounder. But Cleveland just, I don't know.
Well, I mean, there's a chance it happens. There's a chance that this Cleveland team gets completely rebuilt this offseason. If LeBron James goes, fire sale. You know,
yeah.
Love could be gone, or it could be Love's team. Who knows? This is going to be the biggest story of the summer in sports. I think is where does LeBron James?
Thing is,
they have favorites of where he's gonna go.
Yeah, I think.
Oh, yeah.
I think Steve has some here. This is good. So as of now,
the teams he's talking to are the Rockets, Cavs, Lakers, Warriors, Pistons, 76ers, Timberwolves, and Spurs.
well, so this is from Bovada, the betting site, the gambling site. So Houston is 5-2, Cleveland is 11-4, the Lakers are 5-1, Golden State 6-1, Detroit 10-1, Philadelphia 10-1, Minnesota 12-1, San Antonio 14-1.
But see,
Where do you see him going?
I've already stated he's going to Houston. He is going to Houston because in order to beat the Warriors, you need at least 2 other guys that you can relax while they do their thing on offense. And Houston has 2 of those guys. They took the Warriors to 7 games. I think Houston will be better equipped because if he goes there, they're ready to win now. They have the pieces. And it'll just be fun. It'll be fun. And plus, it's Houston. State taxes in Texas.
But does Houston want him?
If they're smart.
Does James Harden want LeBron, want to share the spotlight with
If he
LeBron?
wants
An MVP in his own right, he might win MVP this season.
James Harden.
No, he's not.
James Harden.
Oh.
He might win MVP.
Okay, I'm pausing right now.
This is a Mukala Kabongo guaranteed moment.
I agree with you too, but I'm just saying
LeBron is winning MVP.
LeBron will win MVP too.
Yeah.
But an MVP candidate in himself,
Yeah.
does he want to share the spotlight with a LeBron James?
He shared it with Durant, who was an MVP.
Well,
so.
yeah, I mean that's what, and then he left there eventually.
Well, that wasn't his choosing. That's because their management their management made some dumb decisions.
Well, no, he was going to go to a team. He kept winning Best Sixth Man of the Year award. He was going to go to a team that was going to be his. It was only a matter of
Yeah, but not that soon. That's another reason why Durant went to Oklahoma, went to Golden State. Do you guys remember who they got for that trade, that James Harden trade?
No, who was it?
Kevin Martin. Yeah, Kevin Martin and some other players and people that aren't in the league anymore. So
Well, everybody knew James Harden was going to go on bigger, better things and get more money.
yeah, but at least
at least get
more
some value in
value, yeah.
return. I
I'm
agree.
saying this right now. James Harden's gonna win MVP. I'm gonna come in
Okay.
the next day, and I'm not gonna say anything to anybody. I'm just gonna look at all you and be like, you know,
that's what he said about his Houston Rockets to the finals thing too.
okay, they choked there.
We saw
okay.
how that went.
Well, this is good. We're going to remember this date. We're going to, Pedro's taking down the time code.
2:06.
He's going to
June. What's today?
June 11th.
June 11th, 2:06 p.m. I'm calling it right now.
So Steve, now it's your turn. Where does LeBron James end up next year?
I can't say where he goes. I can't say anything right now because I don't know. I don't know what he wants to do. No one knows. Finals just ended, so give him a little bit.
He's going to
give
Houston.
him a few weeks and then kind of
But
develop
Can
everything.
we also discuss another thing? Kevin Durant.
We can talk about Kevin Durant.
People are still mad at him for going to the Warriors. They're like, it shouldn't be this easy. These two rings don't count. I mean, so I had a discussion with my brother the other day. They're saying, oh, he's not that good because he went there. I'm like, the point in life is to work smarter, not harder. This is the Kevin Durant and LeBron James both showed us that in sports you need to work smarter, not harder. They were working harder, and what did they get out of that? They didn't get
This is the
anywhere.
hardest LeBron's worked. What do you say?
Exactly, and what he got swept. Kevin Durant, when he was in OKC, he was working too hard. He was losing. He goes to Golden State. He's still the best player on the team. He doesn't have to fight with his teammates to get shots. He's still performing at a high level, but he doesn't have to work as hard as he was in OKC because in OKC it was like.
Well, but these top guys, these elite guys, these LeBron James, they like being the leader of their team. They like being the one that's going to get the ball in the last shot.
But is Durant really the leader on the Warriors?
No, he's not the leader.
he's not
He's
the
the best
leader.
player
He's
on
the
the
team.
team.
Yeah, he's the best player on the team,
Curry's
no
the
doubt.
leader.
Well,
Yeah.
if they have one last shot,
I give it to.
It's going to depending on the situation. It's going to
gonna be
Durant.
Durant.
It's Durant.
If it's 3, I give it to Curry. If it's not a 3, I give it to Durant.
But during the season, this is the thing. During the season, there were many situations like that where it was last shot opportunity, and Curry
was
got
also-
some, and then Durant got some. So it wasn't like they were.
They do work
They
well
work
together.
well
But I can
together.
see why people don't like it because it's starting a monopoly. I mean, personally, if I was Kevin Durant, yeah, I'd go to the best team too and get a ring and then start a dynasty. Who wouldn't want to start
let's
a
look at-
dynasty?
Would you rather have a
But-
ring or be Charles Barkley?
But how many? Right, I hear you. But now, how many of these small market teams are going to suffer? Because it's going to be a race. Because LeBron now he's going to either have to go to a Houston or he's going to have to rebuild at some place like LA and then bring Paul George with him and then another piece. Maybe try to get Kawhi Leonard as well. I mean, so
Well, what if he
he's
goes to
gonna
Spurs?
Try to track all these big. Or if he goes to the Spurs, they'll still probably need one more piece to bring in for him. But what I'm saying is, either way, even the Spurs will be this powerhouse team now, having two legit MVP caliber players on their team. So it's coming to the point where there's only so many MVP caliber players, maybe 10 max, and if there's 30 some odd teams in the NBA, it's just these smaller market teams without these stars, it's gonna hurt the league.
You know what I say to small market teams? As Scar said in The Lion King, life's not fair. It isn't. And these small market teams, you just do a good job of drafting players, do a better job of evaluating players, personnel, do a better job
But they
of
don't wanna
hiring
stay.
coaches.
Well, you think Giannis is gonna stay in Milwaukee?
You
in
give
his
him the
first
money.
free agency?
You give him the money.
Yeah.
You
I
throw the
think he
money.
will.
Did
He
Durant
likes-
stay?
He gave them 9 years.
But then he went off and he wanted to go win a ring.
But that's
9
9 years.
years.
That's 9 years.
9 years.
Giannis been in what, 2?
Giannis
No,
is
it was
three.
like
This is
4 or 5.
No,
I think
it's
No,
less
he's been
than
in the
that.
league like 4 years. He came the same year as Kelly Olynyk. So it's like 4.
Really?
Yeah, he came like
Well, I know
2000.
it's only 23, so
Yeah,
maybe
he
it's
came
just-
like
it was
he came.
18.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah,
Either
but
way.
he likes playing for Milwaukee. He's getting a lot there, a lot of playing time. He's been putting up a lot of points there. Like he's basically like,
He's the franchise. He's their franchise.
yeah. If he's gone, Bucks are like no more. I feel like.
If the Bucks want to keep him, they need to do a better job with coaching, They've got the players. They just need to do a better job.
Well, I mean, 2 years in a row.
Well, okay, so let's just go back to this. I know we're getting off topic. Well, what did OKC do wrong to get Kevin Durant to leave? They didn't do anything right. He just saw a better opportunity in Golden State.
They traded away James Harden. That was the first thing. Then they traded away.
They would not be able to afford James Harden, Russell Westbrook, and Kevin Durant.
They didn't get the same value for him. That's the thing.
They knew they weren't going to be able to sign him.
Then they traded away Ibaka, and they didn't get the players they got for him. They traded those players away. So I think Durant left because management was just screwing up, and his issues with Russell Westbrook with his out of control play. So there was many factors that went into it. I think it was a combination of management and Westbrook.
See, I think it was mostly I can win a ring in Golden State. That's what I think.
Well,
that's
that
what
too.
I think was the number one. That's my point. That's why these smaller market teams don't have that same opportunity. They can't do that.
I mean, Golden State was not always,
that's true.
A destination for free agencies.
That's true.
They had like a little bit of period in the mid-2000s. They got some free agents, but that didn't amount to nothing. That amounted. They got
I don't think he was looking for like a ring in Golden State. I think he was just like looking at teams. Where can I like become like the big star on the team? Like, don't get me wrong, he was a big star in OKC, but Westbrook had the spotlight all the time.
Yeah.
And so he's probably like, okay, I want to be the star now. Like, I want to be the big name. So he's probably looking at the teams like, who can help me be that big name? Golden State gave him the opportunity. They got Curry. They got Thompson. Now they got Durant. And two years in a row, they've won.
And also, their style of play fits him. Mm-hmm. The way they play fits him. OKC never had a style of play. It's Westbrook's going to dribble for 18 seconds of the shot clock. Then he's either going to shoot it or pass it to Durant with like 5 seconds or 6 seconds left on the shot clock. It was basically like how Cleveland played. Mm-hmm. ISO ball, but they had two players that did the ISO ball. It's Golden State, they utilized all his talents, because if you look how Durant plays how he's been playing since he got to Golden State, he's gone to the post a lot more. Mm-hmm. He's been playing in the post a lot more. In OKC, he wasn't playing in the post that much. It was either he's going to catch it on the wing, do a move, and shoot over you. Now he's doing a lot more post moves. His defense got way better. Mm-hmm. And so we've just seen the evolution of his game since he got to Golden State. And, when you leave a toxic relationship.
Well, if we're on the topic with championships, something we got to look at is if Curry was still injured, if he did not come back this season or like to the playoffs, would they have won the finals or even made it?
They would not have even made the finals. No. And also, if the knucklehead Draymond Green didn't get suspended in that series, they probably would have won that series in 5 games because they had all the momentum going. And then just one game, one suspension that changed the whole momentum, because LeBron and Kyrie both put 40-point games, multiple 40-point games, and they just won one game, and then they just got the momentum. So if Draymond didn't get suspended, who's to say Durant would be on that team right now?
So let's just ask this question. Steve, I'll go to you first. Can anybody beat the Warriors?
Yes.
And yes. So who can beat the Warriors as it is now?
Right now, I'm just saying this because I feel like it's true. I think Celtics can. If we played the Warriors right now, I think they could have beat the Warriors in the finals. If not, they would have brought them to Game 7. The way they've been playing all season, they could have put up a better fight than Cleveland did, and I think they could have won the title. Warriors weren't doing anything different than they do all season. They play their game, they shoot threes, they move around. And we saw the Celtics against the Warriors in the regular season. They brought the game to them. They were, 1-1 against the Warriors? So, and I think when it came to playing Cleveland, Game 7 came and all the rookies got nervous, all the momentum came to them. But I think if the momentum, the nervousness didn't go to them, they win that game, they're in the finals instead of Cleveland.
Yeah. So, for me, the Warriors can be beat. We've seen they can because they still
in 7 games
in a 7-game
series.
They could be beat because they still have those bad those bad habits that you can exploit. But the thing with the Warriors is people try to play their game, and it just always backfires. So the teams in the West that I think are capable of beating the Warriors in the playoffs, I would say the Pelicans if they get another superstar player. The Pelicans, if they got Paul George, they would have a chance of beating them. The Rockets, if they have LeBron, they have a chance of beating them. Those are the only two teams that I could see that have in the West.
See,
that have a
we're
bench.
talking, and you're just talking chances.
Yeah, those are the two teams that
Are any of those teams going to be favored in the 7-game series against Golden State?
Houston would be. If they had LeBron, Houston would be.
If they had LeBron,
yeah,
maybe.
Houston would be. But
Okay, well, what about
As
teams in
the-
that?
What I'm saying is right now, as the landscape looks in the East and the West, I don't think any team can beat Golden State in 7 games. It hasn't happened since Durant has come. They've never won a 7-game series. A team might be able to take 3, but nobody's taken 4 against the Golden State Warriors as it is right now on any NBA team across the landscape. I just don't think it happens, and it kind of makes basketball a little less fun.
there's, the history of the NBA, the same team's been winning championships over and over again. It's
happens.
just been
There
a
goes
routine.
through runs,
but,
you know.
but I
Well,
think
Bill
the
Russell,
Celtics,
11
but
rings.
a healthy Celtics team, I believe, could be a healthy Warriors team.
And-
a healthy Celtics team.
In 7.
In seven
seven,
games,
yes.
I believe
They-
a healthy
I think
Celtics.
they have the
series.
best chance.
Yeah, they
3,
have-
no, 2, 3. Something serious. How many series they played? And I don't remember, to be honest. I have a bad memory.
Well, we're getting the wrap-up sign from Pedro. You can stick with us for our regular scheduled after the whistle. This Friday, we'll be talking U.S. Open, Money in the Bank, Rob Gronkowski on the trade block. Is it true? What do you guys think? I don't know. You'll hear it on Friday. Mukala, why don't you do the
Yeah,
outro?
we got more NBA. We'll talk more NBA news too, NFL news. We got a whole bunch happening this week, so we're gonna get. I had a long weekend. Don't mind me. I had a long weekend. It's not my fault. It's not my fault. So we're gonna get out of here. Check us out, Lynn Community Television. MVP sneakers right here. So we're out of here. Lynn Community Television, Facebook, Lynn Community Television, Twitter, all that good stuff. Come by the studio. Come check us out. We got classes. We got a whole lot going on here. So we're gonna talk. We're gonna see you guys on Friday. That's for me, Mukala Kabongo, Brian Dorrington, Stephen P, the intern. Peace.
Peace. I just spilled water all over myself like a moron.